Hello, welcome. I'm Hannah, and today I want to put on some newish to me makeup. I say newish because this isn't like a trying new makeup first impressions type of video, but I did recently acquire a lot of new products, mainly from the Sephora sale, and I thought I would put some things on my face, hang out a little bit. I also haven't mentioned yet on my channel that I did purchase the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 5 palette towards the tail end of the sale. I'm really excited to do a look with this also, so instead of saying more things while I sit here with no makeup on, I'm just gonna start doing my makeup. So I did post that video about my order from the Sephora sale, and that was my order that I made like within the first hour of the Sephora sale online. I did go a little wild there. I bought way more things at once than I ever do, and more than I should have. Like, it is funny with that stuff that it feels so fun at the time to like try new things and like order things that I know I'm going to forget about in between ordering it and getting it in my hands. But then like when you get it, it's just so much stuff to get at once. And I already did kind of like finish that order, meaning I decided the things I wanted to return and I already returned them. Because with that many things, like I can't give everything like that many chances. I just don't have the brain capacity to do so. And I should have kept that in mind when I was making the order, that I couldn't like, I can't in a month properly vet like 20 something things, you know? I just cleaned my brushes last night, so I get to put them back in my little mason jar. Another thing about that is that, so the week, I filmed the video right when I got that order in, and then that week I was busy with work, and then the weekend after that is when I made my other Sephora purchase that we'll talk about, and then that week I was sick. I had, are we allowed to say that C word? That I know people were like, they got demonetized if they said. I had that thing. And whenever I'm sick, I don't want to do my makeup because I don't, like, I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac. I'm not like a sharing drinks type person. Like, my motto is generally like, unless I'm willing to kiss you, I'm not willing to share a drink. So I kind of have the same rules with myself that like, me, when I'm sick, I wouldn't want to kiss myself. And like, in the future, I wouldn't want to share makeup with someone that used it when they were sick, so I don't use my makeup when I'm sick. Are you guys like that too, or is that like a me thing? But yeah, it was like right after I made my second purchase that I started not feeling well. So I had a whole Sephora bag of like new things that I couldn't play with, and then I had things from my first order that I had barely touched. So I really lost a week out of my like return policy window of playing with the first order since I wasn't touching my makeup for so long. So I'm gonna start working on this. I have two thoughts. One thought is I could do something that I haven't done yet. Like, for example, I'm really excited to try this red. It's not the type of thing that I usually do, especially because it's more of like a bronze leaning red, but I do at some point want to put all of these on my eyes. But I think I'm going to do a look with you that I've already done because I know I like it. I know I really like the shadows, and I've been really trying recently to like repeat looks, like make it a habit to repeat looks. So yeah, I talked myself into it. I'm going to repeat looks. So I'm going to use actually no, I'm going to do a transition color first. I have my November palette in front of me. I took out a couple of shades when I did the Divina favorites video, and I haven't put them back in yet. So that's why there's empty holes in here. But I'm gonna use this Dandelions cosmetic shade. Is it Snickerdoodle? Snickerdoodle. It's quite a powdery shade. I know I've been like a little harsh on Dandelions in the past, but it works. And for something that's like meant to fluff, like they do blend well. And I like it. Like, I've been reaching into this palette a lot for this shade. And in fact, I think I put that down a little harsher than I meant to. It's hard to do my makeup like this. I think other people that regularly do get readies with me have like a more advanced setup than I do. Like, I'm just using my little viewfinder to do my makeup and talking and thinking during it, which really heightens the pressure. Okay, so there's a very non-elegant, basic transition shade. I think the color is good for me though. It's like neutral, like it leans a little warm, but not too warm that it's like making a statement. Okay, so back to the Danessa Myricks palette. This shade, Unstoppable, is so beautiful. I guess these shades on the bottom, or at least these 4 on the bottom, they're meant to be more like building shades, like more like satiny shades. And, you know, I haven't touched these 3 at all. Oh, that looks like a really pretty shift in the camera. Wow. But yeah, this Unstoppable, it's so shimmery on its own. I really like it. And I think it's like calling it just like a building block shade is not giving it the credit it deserves. I also recently ordered Vault from Cleona, which was one of like the stocking stuffers duo. And I'm wondering if this shade's going to compare to that. I keep saying I need to learn different words to say the same sentence in, because sometimes I just repeat the same exact sentence because that's just like the most concise sentence to say it in. It's not concise now that I'm giving it this whole disclaimer, but I've been more open to using shadows that are less sparkly recently. Normally I can tell if I like a shadow because I'm more open in that way, or if I like it in the sparkly way. But this shadow I kind of can't tell. Like, would past Hannah, who only wants super sparkly like this? It's also hard to tell to like have you help me judge in the camera because the bright lights do diffuse some of the sparkle. So I guess all that to say, maybe for old Hannah, this would have just been a builder shade. But for current Hannah, it's more than that. And it's not the most boring. What am I trying to say? Like, I think old Hannah would have been interested in the shadow, but maybe she would have just been like, it needs a little something else, you know? It wouldn't have been like completely out of the question for old Hannah, but for new Hannah, it's really nice and I really like it, okay? And I'll compare it to Vault at some point. Vault might be more blue, but I imagine has like a similar tone to it. But yeah, that's the gist of the lid that I want to do with this. Maybe I'll pack a little bit more on. The other thing that I did with this look, the other time that I did it, was I took Loved on a little brush and I just kind of brushed that into my inner crease area, and that was really pretty. I still haven't used Loved all over my eyes, and seeing other people's swatches, like, I'm really excited to. I just haven't. Like, it looks way more pink there than I imagine it would from the pan, right? Yeah, I think so. But I really like it, and I really like these 2 shades together. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my face and then come back to the eyes. I always like doing my inner corner and stuff at the end, so then I can ensure that my base won't mess with that. Okay, I just quickly did my base off camera with my same boring products because it's the same thing every time. I did my Supergoop Unseen sunscreen that the packaging looks pretty dirty on. And then I did my Tarte Shape Tape, my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk, and I set it with this Tarte Amazonian Clay Blurring Powder Foundation. The next product is something that I did talk about in my haul video. It's this glowish bronzer, and I do plan still to do a video where I talk about the things that I talked about in that haul, and I kind of like go through things line by line. I'll tell you exactly what I returned, what I'm keeping, why I made either one of those decisions, but I've really been enjoying this, and I've been reaching for it pretty much every time I've done my makeup. Like, my other bronzer is my Rare Beauty contour stick, or bronzer stick, I don't know what they're calling it. I've been reaching for that one a lot less since I've gotten this. Back to my little story. I don't know what I was saying, and I don't think it had any importance. Maybe I was just leading up to me making my second order. So I filmed the video on like the Sunday after the sale started. My first order took 2 days to get to me, which was incredible. I'm just gonna go in with this ColourPop blush in Kiss and Tell. This is actually the second one I had of this, and I have a pretty sizable pan in this now. So this is something that I go through. But yeah, so the Saturday after that, I went to the mall to return a couple things, and I stopped into Sephora. I think there was a couple products that I was considering making an order for, and I was just like, oh, I'll see if they have it in the store and I can swatch it. And I'm happy that I did, because it's incredible how different things can be sometimes. And like with Instagram now, like the search feature is so much more annoying, and you can't search by like newest or whatever. I don't know. I find Instagram harder to use for like makeup swatches now, because like you'll search the keywords, but then sometimes it's not like lining up to what you actually mean. But there was a couple Urban Decay lip liners I was considering, and the ones that I was interested in, when I swatched them in store, I was like, oh hell no. Like they were like super orangey, and they didn't look super orangey online. What's up with that? But something surprising that happened when I was in store is that I found myself over in the Danessa Myricks area, and they had the Lightwork palette sitting out. I'm grabbing it as if like we didn't already talk about it and do an eye look with it. But when I touched it in store, that's when I was like, oh. Like even just seeing it in store, I'm like, oh, like I get it. Like seeing it online did absolutely nothing for me. I had no interest. In fact, Seeking Shifts videos and Bad to the Brows videos, I generally watch all of their videos. And if it's about a product that I'm interested in purchasing, I'll probably like put it on right away or whatever. But a lot of the time, if I'm not planning on ordering the thing, I'll put it in my watch later. And then when I'm working, I'll like have it on in the background. I had both of their videos in my watch later, and I hadn't watched them yet because I had no interest in actually purchasing this. But after I saw it in person and I swatched some of the shadows out and I really liked it, I went home that night and I watched both of their videos and I was like so convinced. And I think, I don't know if it was one of them or both of them said something about like not being that interested, but like feeling the full vision when they saw it in person, and that is exactly how I felt, as I said. So I was so convinced by that point, and I went back to Sephora the next morning and I bought it, and I honestly haven't looked back since. Like, I really have been enjoying using it. I said this in an Instagram story, but like, I bet if I really tried, I could dupe out these colors. I feel like I have enough eyeshadow that I can dupe out most things, especially like most things that I'm interested in. But like this to me captures the magic of a palette. Like this to me is more than the sum of its parts. Like the first look that I did with this, I think was with Invincible. It was either with Invincible or Brave. It was one of these like really silvery blues. And like, I could use a color like that from an indie single shadow and not be that excited about it, but like this, like it just had that je ne sais quoi. I was just excited to be using this. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but this to me has like, it's really like captured my excitement of makeup. I'm happy that I bought it. And then the next thing I have is also something that I stumbled upon during that fateful Sephora trip, and I had no interest in until I saw it in person. So I bought a highlight from Haus Labs. I actually haven't purchased anything from the Haus Labs at Sephora line. And I remember when these highlighters came out, like they looked interesting on Trend Mood, but I didn't feel like there was a shade for me, but I was swatching them and there was two shades that I felt like were for me. I can't remember, maybe it was Sunstone or something. There was like a neutral shade that I was like, I could imagine this being like a daily highlight. Like it had a really nice like radiance to it. But the one that I purchased is Pink Amethyst. This one has a really nice pink flip to it, and I'll show you when I apply it. Just a subtle, nice color. Can we even see it on camera? Maybe we can't even see it on camera. I guess you can see the glow a little bit, but it's definitely apparent in person that I just have like some really nice pink sparkles on my face. It's a pretty sheer layer, so it like blends in well. Yeah, I think there you can see it better. It doesn't feel too dark. I feel like it doesn't really give me a cast from the front, but it's just a nice subtle bit of pink, and I feel like it's subtle enough too that I wear it on my nose and my Cupid's bow. And I've really been enjoying this. And I really like the packaging too. It's like a really nice magnet. It's kind of like an opalescent finish on the packaging. This is like a mega score in my book. Okay, let's return to the eyes. I don't know what I did for my lower lash line the last time I did this look. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of it, but I think I'm also going to accent it with like a deep brown just to make sure that we have like a matte in place. So then if the pencil brush makes this like a little bit more PC, it won't be like not enough pigment on the lower lash line, you know? Okay, so I opened back up my November palette and I have Blood Moon from Luxie pulled. This, I feel like the color of this complements it really well. It's clearly like a really warm, reddish toned matte, and I really like Luxie's matte formula. Oh, this actually looks way redder on my lower lash line than I thought. But you see how that blend just like did itself? Like, like it's more pigmented towards the outer, but it just kind of like fluffs in a way towards the, like, that's so nice. That's so nice. These are so easy to work with. I should make a video all about Luxie mattes. I feel like I'm just mentioning it here and there all the time, but like they're my Roman Empire. They are. Okay, so now that we have that down, I'm going to see about picking up Unstoppable on my pencil brush. I just like shook off the extra pigment. It looks like it picked up nicely. Come on, focus. See? It looks like it picked up nicely. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic lower lash line. I think that the reddish tone of the matte is a little bit of like a statement, like it's a little bit of a contrast to the upper eye, but then the upper eye does have that pink line that the lower doesn't have, so it's like they both share an element and then they both have an exclusive element, and I feel like that balance makes it work. Cool. Okay, so the last thing to do with my eyes is my inner corner. I don't think I'm gonna use this palette for my inner corner. The shade Protected, I know I swatched this when I swatched it in store, and this is like a purpley, so I don't think I want to add, do I want to add that? Because then there's also this one that I've worn on the lid, and it has like, it's kind of like a more foily mural, and it has that like orangey reflect that would work, but I don't really know if I want to mess with the base. I will say too, I'm also a little bit concerned about like this formula for my inner corner, and maybe I want to try it when like I'm not filming it and like trying to have a cute look for you, you know? But never fear, I do have a new exciting product to get my inner corner shade from. This is the Glaminatrix Rich Romantic palette, and this also came right around the time that I was sick. In fact, I think it did come when I was sick. I don't know. But I've been enjoying this also. I've enjoyed every look that I've done with it. I've probably used it maybe about 5 times, but it has this really nice inner corner shadow. It's kind of like Phoenix from Terra Moons, which I love using on my inner corner, or like Red Giant, but no, it's less pinky than Red Giant. It's probably more like Phoenix. But yeah, it works really well as an inner corner, and I've been pulling that out a lot. So hot new item going on my eyes along with my other hot new item. Yeah, I guess it does have a little bit less like boom than Phoenix does, and maybe it is a little bit more like Red Giant, because looking at it now, like, it's not entirely unpinkish. I feel like my camera's not focusing right anymore. You know, it's kind of like a pinky orangey. I don't know. I feel like I didn't get my concealer in here enough because it looks a little bluish in the hollows of my eye, but that's okay. I just won't make that angle in public to anyone. And if I do, I mean, that's fine too. They can see that I'm a human. That's allowed. Pretty. That ties it together. Yeah, I'm down with that. So during that last trip, I actually did buy 2 lip liners. I'll just use one of them today, but I'll show you both of them. Both of them I'm obsessed with. Like, I mentioned in the haul that I've been like kind of on a lip quest to get some new products that I'm excited about and everything. I bought a couple lip liners in that first order that I ended up not keeping. I'll save that for the recap video, but I bought 2 more from my second purchase that I did end up keeping. So this is Tarte, the Maracuja Juicy Lip Liner in Soft Pink. And this I really, really like. It's a twist up. The color works really well for me. And it's like, it works as like a really nice My Lips But Better shade. I can slightly overline with it and it just makes my lips look like a little bit more plump. Which is funny also because it said somewhere, maybe it was just on the display, it said something about plumping with this, and I was like nervous that it was going to make my lips tingly. I cannot do anything with plumping, but I think it's just like, it's just a marketing word at this point, which is funny because it has the opposite effect on me. But yeah, it feels like a regular lip liner and I really like it. This one is the one that I will use. This is from Urban Decay. It's in the shade Peyote. And it was actually sold out online, and I had to go to the Sephora in Kohl's to find it, and I'm glad I did because I love it. It's a little bit more of a mauve-y shade, and it has a little bit of a metallic sheen to it. So I think because of that, it looks a little odd on its own, which is fine to me because I wouldn't wear it on its own, but in conjunction with a glossy lip product, because this has reflection by itself, it kind of just adds to the reflection, you know? and I really like it. Color really works for me. I'm going to use this one today. And in fact, I think I'm going to sharpen it because I've been using it a lot. It's getting a little dull. Baby's first sharpen. Right? Like, I feel like it just has a little bit of a glossy finish, but it just feels like a regular lip liner. And with it, I'm going to pair this Tower 28 Balm in Mix. And that's my lip look. Because I bought so many lip products during this recent sale season, I've been taking a little picture of myself every time I do my makeup. Like, I use the Instagram app, I'm not posting it, but I'll just use the Instagram app because then I can add text on it and I'll write down what lip combo I'm wearing. I've really been enjoying doing that. I want to identify perfect lip combos, and I think I've kind of achieved a little bit of a mix and match, but they have slightly different effects. Like, I think the Mix Balm might lean a little orangey, but then like the Urban Decay liner kind of cancels it out with the mauviness. I don't know. It's been interesting to compare. It's saving me from feeling like I'm a failure for not being able to memorize what this plus that equals, you know, and then I'm not having to like discover it for the first time every day. In fact, when I was doing my makeup for Thanksgiving a couple days ago, I actually looked through my pictures and I was like, that's the combo I want to wear today. And it was great. It was so easy. I recommend that if you're in a similar boat to me where you're like, what do I like with what? Oh, eyeliner. I was about to curl my lashes and put on my mascara, but I totally forgot about eyeliner. I'm just going to tightline with this black liner from Urban Decay. Then for my original haul, I have this Danessa Myricks eyeliner in Rose Quartz. This liner has such a pretty pink shimmer to it. Although, like, it's a little bit more subtle than that pink line there, I feel like it still kind of ties in from across the way, you know? And now I'm just gonna curl my lashes and apply my Tower 28 mascara. And this is the finished makeup look. I'm gonna pop in a picture that I took of my eye look at a different angle because you could definitely see the sparkles better, not this way. And I think it looks really pretty. I'm really excited about it. This is like exactly the type of look that I'm just so pumped about nowadays. Like, it's neutral-ish, but it's not boring, and it still has like interesting placement. It still has a bit of a colorful inner corner. It still has like, you know, just fun products incorporated. It's not just like champagne on the lid or like an all matte eye. Like, maybe that's fun and exciting to you in a way that I don't understand, or maybe I will understand, but all that to say, like, I think in my head, neutral-ish eyes are like boring, or like that was what was in my head for a while. And now that I'm into it, I'm like convincing myself that it's not just like, I only like reserved makeup now. It's like, this is just fun to me in a different way, and it's still fun in its own way, and I really like it. I hope this was fun to watch. I don't often do videos where I'm just sitting here and talking and doing my makeup. Let me know if you like this, if you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. There's always way more makeup content to come, and I'm gonna be posting a lot in December. Last December, I did post every single day for the entire month. And also, I think I posted like the last 2 days of November and the first 2 days of December also. It was kind of wild. I don't know if I can do that this year, but I'm going to try. And I'm also going to try to not be hard on myself if I can't do a day. Like, I would be nervous in the past that like, if I missed a day last December, I feel like I would have gotten discouraged and like stopped posting nearly as much as I was. And this year, if I have to take a day off, I'm gonna try to pick it up again the next day. We'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping for the best. I know I did it, so I know that like it's within me if I can manage my time and my work schedule well. But either way, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.